All right, good morning, guys. Today we have SoFi earnings coming out. I think it's quarter one earnings. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's Q1 earnings for SoFi. We'll get the music playing. Honestly, the market is doing lovely for me today, specifically on Apple gapping up, Tesla gapping up. Everything's gapping up a lot for me today, really. So you love to see it. Tesla, yeah. Looks like the dip buys I got in last week were the right moves. Man, look at Tesla, Intel. Man, a lot of stuff's up. All right, here. We're going to get a deeper look. We also have SoFi earnings dropping in about 30 minutes. So in about 30 minutes, we got SoFi earnings. So, yeah. About Intel, we're in Intel still. SoFi drops at 7 a.m. So in 30 minutes. Wow. Yeah, look at Tesla. Look at Google's pretty flat, but that's all right. We're already very green. Look at Apple. You love to see it. We're very green on all of these, including Apple. We added more to our Apple position. Our average price on Apple's 168, so we're doing really nice there. Tesla, our average price is 140s. Doing nice there. Yeah, Tesla had to have something good go on with it. Let me look. All right, Elon's visit to Beijing for FSD push. China is eyeing economical hydrogen-powered vehicles as alternative for green energy transition. Tesla reported a deal with Baidu to allow self-driving mode in China. All right, they're planning 693 layoffs in Nevada for Tesla. All right, so basically Tesla's up on Tesla CEO Elon Musk getting self-driving approval in China and a deal with Baidu. Stocks jumping on that deal. This is from Barron's.com. SoFi drops earnings today too. We're in SoFi. We want SoFi to go up. We'll see if it does. Google almost up to 900, man. Let's see what SoFi can do for us today. What happened with Apple? I don't know. Apple's up. Let me look. All right, so Bernstein upgraded Apple to outperform and announced a 195 price target. Citigroup adjusted their price target to 210 from 220. They kept the buy rating though. Yeah, so upgrade for Apple. Is Amazon going? Yeah, Amazon's ripping up too. All right. All right, chat. Is there going to be rate cuts on Wednesday? No, almost certainly not. Rate cuts are just super unlikely. The reason they're unlikely is because inflation data came in higher than expected on Friday. You know, we had personal consumption expenditure data, which is actually the Fed's preferred metric for inflation. So it's the one the Fed looks at. It almost all came in higher than expected on Friday. And so higher inflation data means less likelihood of rate cuts, in my opinion. I mean, in everybody's opinion, really, it should be. But like a higher inflation data means that the Fed needs to get a handle on inflation before it starts cutting rates. And so I just don't think that we're going to cut rates early. But who knows? I mean, anything's possible. I can't, Robert. I got to wait 20 minutes to trade. But it is the FOMC rate week. Yeah, crypto, man. Bitcoin down to 62. I don't know, man. I mean, you hear people say crypto's destroyed and all, but like, I mean, look, here's a long-term chart on Bitcoin, and I think this kind of gets rid of a lot of the noise, right? Like, look, I don't think this means destroyed yet. I don't think we can call it destroyed yet. Like, look, this big move up, I don't think this means destroyed. I think typically Bitcoin moves like that, but who knows, right? I don't know. Yeah, Tesla, guys, is absolutely crazy right now, man. $184s. You love to see it. Apple is up a lot too. Intel, SPY, and Google. Yeah, SPY back up to 510s or so. I kind of like this new music. Hope SoFi does well. It announces at 7. Yeah, SoFi drops in 20 minutes. So. Here's SoFi. We'll put SoFi on the right side. SoFi ripped up this morning. Is back down to 790s. So we'll see if it holds. Yeah, SoFi expecting. We'll put this up on screen so you can see it. SoFi expecting. SoFi is expecting 1 cent profit on 566.9 million in rev. We'll put a banner up so you can see it. On revenue of 566.9 mil. What's up, Paulo? Seems like Tesla got approval. Yeah. Tech Green Day today. Yeah. So everything on Wednesday, market movement going to be based on Powell's speech, I guess. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the whole week is leading into the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. We also have some big earnings this week. So again, we got SoFi today. It drops in about 15 minutes. We also have, for the rest of the day, like we've got, this evening we don't really have much, right? So it's pretty boring this evening. But tomorrow morning, we got PayPal, Eli Lilly, 3M, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Sirius, Marathon, Petroleum, a bunch of other ones too, but those are the big ones. Tuesday evening is the big day, right? So Tuesday evening, we've got Amazon, AMD, Supermicro, Semiconductor, Starbucks, Riot, Blockchain, Pinterest, Caesars, Lemonade, Root, a bunch of other ones too. So those are Tuesday, tomorrow evening. We've got some big earnings reports dropping. So tomorrow evening, we got specifically Amazon is probably what we're going to cover, but we're going to cover all of them, especially Supermicro as well. Yeah, so those are Tuesday. Wednesday in the morning, we've got Pfizer, MasterCard, CVS, Barrick Gold, Norwegian Cruise, Wingstop, Kraft Heinz, Marriott, Estee Lauder, a bunch of other ones too. And then, Wednesday evening, we got the Fed meeting, so we're probably not going to stream any of these. But this is QCOM in the evening on Wednesday, Carvana, Paycom, Etsy, some other small ones. Thursday evening, big day too, guys. So Thursday morning, we've got Nova Disc, Canadian Natural Resources, Peloton, Moderna, Wayfair, ConocoPhillips, Penn Entertainment, a couple other ones, Shake Shack, Dominion Energy. Thursday evening is probably the biggest day this week, though, because that is Apple Day. Apple earnings on Thursday evening, followed by Coinbase, Square, DraftKings, Cloudflare, Fortinet, Bill.com, Bookings, Amgen, Expedia, a bunch of other ones too. And then Friday, we got a couple energy stocks. So big day Wednesday specifically because of the Fed meeting though. So all that includes plus the Fed meeting on Wednesday. Fed meeting's the biggest day for sure this week. Let me do a poll speaking of all this stuff. What should the poll get? So does the Fed cut rates? Does the Fed cut rates on Wednesday? Vote on the poll. I don't think they do. I believe they personally don't. All right. Yeah. So I don't think they cut rates. I think that's that. I think that I think the market wants rate cuts, but I think it's too early to cut. Look at Apple still, or look at Tesla getting up to almost 185s. Apple at 173s. SoFi down there at 790s. Let's see if SoFi can break 8. Just drinking coffee. All right, chat. All right, chat. We do have, again, 12 minutes before SoFi earnings comes out. SoFi expecting just 1 cent profit today, but that's all right. I mean, again, I'm in SoFi right now. I hope it goes up. We'll see if it does. All right, chat. So again, we'll see if Tesla pulls back a little bit. Tesla's up a lot. Bitcoin did dip down from about 75,000 down to 63,000. Amazon's flying up as well at 183s. Google bouncing back a little bit as well, but Google has had a really good, like a really easy, run. All right, chat. We're going to look to wait. We're just sitting tight waiting in 9 minutes SoFi earnings drops. All right, chat. So SoFi testing that previous closing price, almost red. or almost red on the day. Now SoFi is technically red. It's at 783s. Amazon's still up there at 173s. It's dumping. People know something we don't. Yeah, it's not really dumping enough. I mean, maybe. You know, I don't know what the float size here. The SoFi float looks to be about 1 billion shares, so it's not really a tiny float stock or anything like that to, you know. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe somebody knows. I think rate cuts in June. I think it's going to be longer than that. What's the difference between Google A and Class and C? So Google A has more voting rights. Class C is just regular shares, right? So Class A gives you better voting rights. Class C, I think Class C shares are shares that are just base shares. Like you don't get any voting rights. I think Class A shares gives you voting rights. So they're a little bit they're at a little bit more of a premium to the Class C shares. But confirm with them first, or confirm with Google first. What's up, Pawn? All right. All right, chat, here we go. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left before SoFi earnings. We got almost 400 people here. So I guess everybody's waiting for SoFi. Makes sense. All right, so here we go. SoFi expecting 1 cent profit per share. They're bouncing back up, testing that previous close. What's up, Apple and Raisin Pancake? SoFi. Hey, we'll see. Yeah, Beach Bum, if you want to do another redirect, you know, maybe I'll have to speak with Cam to see when we're doing a crypto show, but I'll redirect to you again if you want, brother. Bitcoin is going to cross 100K and we're expecting Bonk. Yeah, honestly, I don't trust Bonk though. Bonk's kind of sketch, you know. It really is. I mean, it's crazy runs and crazy rips and everything like that, but it's also kind of like it's a meme stock or a meme crypto. All right, chat, here we go. 3 minutes. Pre-market before earnings tells you nothing. Of course we're going to talk about it. That's what the show is. My guy's just being a hater, man. It's all right, dude. Let it out here, man. You know. I'll be your therapist. Yeah, all good. Just message me, Beachbum. I got you, man. Most altcoins are just pump and dump. I'm so happy you're covering SoFi. Yeah, I'm in SoFi right now, so the earnings are important. Yeah. 2.5 minutes left, chat. 2.5 minutes. Be ready. All right, chat, 2 minutes. I'm not a hater. You honestly believe the pre-market before earnings drop means something? Come on, man. You don't even believe it yourself. I mean, I pretty much said that the drop wasn't that big and that it was relatively insignificant, you know? I think with SoFi being this big stock community, it could mean something. Like, again, saying it doesn't mean anything is silly because nobody knows. Like, it could be insider selling. It certainly could. I'm in SoFi. I want it to go up. I want it to have great earnings, of course, because I'm in it. You know, it doing well is good for me, right? But nobody knows what it means. It's the stock market, you know? And so I'll tell you this. People do certainly cut positions ahead of earnings that have insider information, without question. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going on with SoFi. SoFi's got 1 billion shares in the float. So, you know, maybe. But I don't think it's any type of significant event. And I'm right there with you. I think we got to just wait for earnings, you know. Best place to be in the morning. Hey, my guy, thanks, man. Yeah, Tesla flying up right now. All right, Chad, we got 30 seconds, 20 seconds, really about 15 seconds. Here we go. SoFi, get ready. Here, Chad, let's watch SoFi on the right side here. Earnings drop in about 5 seconds. SoFi currently at 785, it's right at the previous closing price. And here we go. Let's see if it moves. All right, so it's down to 760s, 750s. 770s. Let's wait for the earnings, chat. Back up to 780, so currently it's flat. All right, SoFi is out. They posted net revenue of $645 million, net income of $88 million. They made the second consecutive quarter of GAAP profitability. They raised fiscal year 24 guidance. They posted they said, quote, we delivered adjusted EBITDA of $144 million at 25% profit margin, representing 91% year-over-year growth. This equates to 57% incremental adjusted EBITDA margin, with all three segments profitable on a contribution basis. At the same time, we further strengthened our balance sheet, growing tangible book value by $608 million in the quarter at $4.8 billion and $392 of tangible book value, up 16% sequentially. So yeah, let's see what their total net revenue again. They posted 2-cent profit, beat the 1-cent estimate, sales beat expectations as well. So far, SoFi did pretty good here. So again, here's their full results right now for SoFi. Here's their full results. They did pretty good. Again, they did 2-cent profit, better than expected EPS, better than expected sales. So all right, SoFi up to 805. Some pretty good earnings, raised guidance. They also raised their guidance as well, chat. That's the big one that really could help them, is their raised guidance here. Again, management raises fiscal year 24 guidance. I'm going to put this up on the screen too so you guys can see it, but yeah. That is SoFi's. There we go. So again, raised guidance. And then SoFi, look at this. Up to 820s right now for SoFi. Hey, you love to see it. I'll take it. Good day for me so far in equities. We'll see if it continues. Wait, did he really? Wait, did Anthony Noto tweet my 2 cents? Did he really, bro? He's trying to be Elon. Where did he say this? SoFi, I like SoFi as a company, of course. I think SoFi is solid as a company. It's a little new, but like I like it. I'm in it right now. I hope it goes up. Hey, congrats, guys. Yeah, sorry I called you a hater, Rob. I get used to the haters, so I kind of, react swiftly. I like the 5-minute, Robert, but it varies. Personally, the 5 minutes is my favorite, but again, it varies. All right, we asked people, will we cut rates on Wednesday? 77% of people accurately expects no. I expect no as well. I don't expect any rate cuts on Wednesday. Again, SoFi ripped up. Good earnings, good EPS, good sales, good guidance. SoFi is up. So again, they expect 2024 adjusted net revenue of 2.43 versus 2.37 billion expected. Implied prior range of 2.6. We're going to continue putting SoFi's numbers up in chat right here. Again, for their guidance numbers are out. Putting these up. 2022 GAAP EPS guidance of 9 cent profit. Prior range of 8 cent profit. So SoFi, good guidance. Pull it back to the VWAP 200 EMA. Let's see if it bounces here. Hey, thank you for the dono, the $2 donation, brother. Thank you so much. Andre, do you think PayPal will have good earnings? I have no idea, brother. I appreciate the donation, dude. Genuinely no idea. I sold my PayPal position not too long ago, but I was up a lot, and it would have been crazy for me to continue to hold it. I think, like, I bought PayPal at $50 basically. It's almost to 70 now, and so I was just up so big percentage wise. I had to take profit and get out, and I haven't gotten back in yet. But I tend to like PayPal as a company. I think it had a huge overreaction to the downside over the past few years, and I ended up buying it up and making some money from it. So I mean, it's not really a muted reaction. It did okay. Well, guidance is more important than everything else. So guidance is the big one. All right, so now remember, the earnings call is going to be at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Yeah, I'm reading it. Twitter showing me Quavo's concert in Connecticut has nobody there. Honestly, the Migos, I was never a big fan, bro. Like, that's the newer generation's music, and I'm not really like again, I understand newer generations like whatever music they like. But the Migos never were good. Like, none of their songs were good to me. Like, I get it. I'm not really their targeted base, but like, I just never really liked their music. None of it was even good. Like, it all just sounded like they were just saying random words, like, never a big fan. And I like some rap music. Like, I grew up with like Young Jeezy, Tupac. And I get it, I'm old, but I don't know, I just can't. I feel like that old man telling you to get off their lawn. Anyways, SoFi at 815s. Let's see if it holds. Tesla at 184s, almost 185s. SoFi bouncing. Let's see if it continues up. It hit a high of almost 850s. Can you tell that true that stock market will 24/7? No. It's definitely not for sure. They're speculating that like some people want that to happen. They want the stock market to be open 24/7. Personally, I think that's a horrible, horrible idea. I think you're going to get stopped out at 2 a.m. when you're sleeping. And it's not going to be, again, I don't think that's the move. I think it's a bad idea, personally. But everybody's different. Hey, thanks, X. Yeah, I see the 2 cents thing. So, I mean, again, smart. Yeah, smart, you know. Yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of different music. I listen to rap as well, you know. Um, I'm from Louisiana, so my bias with music is Louisiana weighted, you know. But, like, I don't know, the Migos, I was just never a big fan, you know. All right, chat. Again, we're at 824s right now, 825s, 830s almost. All right, guys, we're almost up to 830s here. Tesla testing 185s right now. SoFi still running up. You know, I got a decent sized position in SoFi. It's not small, and I feel like I'm just going to let it sit. You know, earnings calls in about an hour. Yeah, Tesla up a lot on news that they got a FSD deal done overseas. Hmm. All right, chat. So SoFi still testing that high. Look at Tesla testing highs at 185. It's the previous high of the day here. Again, we're in Tesla also here. I don't know what I want to do with this. All right, chat. Again, we're sitting tight waiting here. John, there are more chances of a hike instead of a cut. Yeah, I think for the next meeting especially, that's correct. Right now, in terms of just base percentage, right? Well, okay, so at this point, it's pivoted back. So on May 1st, there's a 97.1% chance of a pause again, and then a 2.9% chance of a cut. So it used to be there was a greater chance of a hike than a cut. I don't think we're going to hike or cut. I think it's pretty probable that we're just going to pause rates again. I think the Fed, I think doing either one of those things is a bad idea, especially cut. All right, guys. So Tesla testing 185s again. SoFi at 820s here. All right, chat. So again, SoFi back down. It's still very green, and I think this is a good earnings report. SoFi earning more money is always a good thing. No? We might do another poll. I think asking people about rate cuts isn't looks like a cut may be necessary. Refinance on debt at these rates will have a devastating effect on things. Yeah, but I mean, listen, cuts, it depends on where inflation is at, right? Like, I get it. Real estate professionals and lenders want rates to go down because it's tough to sell loans to people right now with interest rates so high. I understand that, but I think if we cut rates early, inflation could snowball and get worse, much worse, and then everybody's going to be complaining about inflation. I think inflation's already been rampant over the last 5 years. Right, I think over the last 5 years since the pandemic, really, we've had terrible inflation and prices have gone up. And the problem with prices is that once they go up, it's very difficult to get them to go back down. Generally, when we do damage to inflation, it's almost never talking about actual decreasing prices. Decreasing inflation. It's almost never that. The best we can generally hope for is to slow inflation down. And so with that in mind, like with that specific aspect of it in mind, I think it's incredibly important that we get inflation to a reasonable level first before we start worrying about cutting rates just to please the lenders. I really do think it's important to get inflation under control. And I think if CPI and PCE data, we had PCE data drop on Friday. If that shows us anything, it's that inflation is not under control. And I think inflation can snowball very quickly and get out of control. I just think cutting rates too early is a bad move. Right. And I don't think we should cut it anytime soon. And I understand like real estate professionals, lenders, like, of course, they're pushing for early rate cuts because that means interest rates are going to go down. They'll be able to sell more houses or mortgages or whatever it is. But the risk is profound if we do that too early, in my opinion. But chat, let me know what you guys think. Rate cuts will crash the market. Well, we're not gonna cut rates, I don't think, anytime soon. It would be a bad idea if we did. SoFi book value raised to 1 billion too. Yeah, good guidance. They had good guidance as well. What's the estimated price for the end of the day today? What price for what? Yeah, they had great numbers, great EPS, great revenue, great guidance for SoFi. And again, I'm in SoFi right now. Not a small position. One of my largest positions actually is in SoFi right now. Now, granted, it's a smaller, lower moving stock, so I can take a larger position, and the risk is about, but yeah. How can they cut with the amount of money they're printing and spending? Yeah, for sure. I think we did have GDP come in much lower than expected. You know what I mean? So I think with GDP coming in low, that's an argument for rate cuts for sure, right? Because we don't want to wait until we're testing recessions and stuff like that. So it's a sticky spot right now. It really is. Like, it's a tough spot, you know. All right, chat. Again, we'll watch SoFi. SoFi seems to be holding. Tesla went all the way up to 185s right now. We're also going to look at some other news that's released today. BYD posted numbers. It's an overseas company. Tesla chairperson says board stands behind Elon regarding his proposed pay package. So we'll put that up on chat, unless you guys see this as well here. Yeah. Again, SPY's up to almost 510s. Amazon up big. Again, we'll see if we get some legs here. We're green in SoFi right now. We've been in it. We'll see if we hold. We'll see if it holds. All right. So Benzinga posted, what would you consider a life-changing amount of money? Let me think. I would say, okay. I'm not... $10,000 is not a life-changing amount. $20,000, not a life-changing amount. Even like $50,000, not really a life-changing amount, right? I'd be certainly happy to receive $50K. It's not going to change my life that much. I would say for me personally, a life-changing amount of money would be like $500,000 to $1 million, which definitely changed my life for the better, of course. Now again, depends on what they define by that. If they're talking about like more money than I've ever seen, it's going to be in the millions. But anything under 100K isn't going to benefit me that much better. My life would be about the same. What do you guys think? What's a life-changing amount of money for you? $1 million? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, 50 million. Honestly, if you say anything over $1 million, or anything over 10 million, honestly though, I'm not talking about it's gonna completely change your life, right? Because in that regard, 500K to $1 million is not gonna do that for me either. What I'm saying is where it's gonna have a noticeable positive impact, right? I'm the type of person where I don't like spending my money. You know, I really don't. Like, I make good money, you know, but I'd never spend it. And I've been like that for years. Like, I stick it away. I buy investments with it mostly. Like, we're getting ready to buy another rental property. And so I don't really get to spend it very much. All right, SoFi still down at 820s. 820 seems to be a holding number. Let's see if it holds. Apple at 173. We got the top up there. We got this little bottom here on Tesla we could watch right around 182.50s or so. Yeah. I mean, we did move up in SoFi. SoFi has a large float. It's got almost 1 billion shares in the float. And so that's what this is. So SoFi has a lot of shares in the float. It's not going to have some crazy like market move. And SoFi had great earnings. You have kids, so putting it away makes sense after the kids are grown, spend away. Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, like, I make good money, you know. Like, I never try to be specific, but I make pretty good money, right? I make, I'm at the 32% tax bracket, roughly. Or I'm probably a little bit higher than the 32%. Let me see. I gotta look at my bracket. I'm definitely not in the highest tax bracket, that's for sure. Which is 37%. I'm not there. I am between, I'm around 35% tax bracket is probably what I am. You know. And this is marginal, so. But I just feel bad spending it on stuff that I don't need, you know. This week's pretty big, right? Don't we have more economic data outside of the Fed meeting this week? Okay, yeah, so this week's actually incredibly busy, chat, in terms of economic reports, right? So today we have nothing in terms of economic releases. Tomorrow we got the Case-Shiller, we got Chicago PMI, CB consumer confidence all dropping tomorrow morning, right? And that doesn't even include all the huge earnings that we got tomorrow, specifically Amazon, AMD, and Supermicro Semiconductors. Supermicro might be a huge earnings report, We're at 850s right now for Supermicros. We'll see if we rebound, but that's tomorrow, chat. Tomorrow. Again, not even including all the big economic reports we got. All right, Wednesday is the biggest day without question of the week. This is a day in which we've got number one in the morning time. And this is not even including a bunch of the earnings that we got. So again, if we look at it objectively, tomorrow morning we got PayPal, Eli Lilly, 3M, McDonald's, Coca-Cola. Again, in terms of economic reports, we've got Case-Shiller, so the house price index. We've got Chicago PMI, consumer confidence data tomorrow morning. Plus, again, PayPal, Eli Lilly, 3M, McDonald's, Coca-Cola earnings. Tomorrow evening, Amazon, AMD, Supermicro Semiconductors, Riot Blockchain, Pinterest, a bunch of other ones too. All right, so, and then Wednesday, chat. Wednesday morning, we've got Pfizer, MasterCard, CVS earnings. A bunch of other ones like Wingstop, Kraft, Marriott, Estee Lauder. And then Wednesday morning. So we have the Fed meeting Wednesday evening at 2 p.m. or Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. But Wednesday morning, chat, we have what's called the ADP non-farm employment change. So this is payroll week, the NFP week. So non-farm payrolls drop on Friday. Every time non-farm payrolls drop, we get prelim non-farm payrolls, kind of like a different look at non-farm. It's just a different report that drops on Wednesday. It's called the ADP non-farm employment change. That drops at 8:15 on Wednesday, chat. 8:15. We also have ISM PMI at 10. JOLTS job openings at 10. So we got JOLTS report, ADP non-farm employment numbers, ISM manufacturing PMI. We got the Fed rate hike decision and press conference at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. And then we have QCOM earnings and a bunch of other ones Wednesday evening, but we're not going to cover those because they're not, unfortunately, not big enough. Tesla just broke highs. Tesla at 185s. Chad, look at this range break on Tesla. 185s right now. So, big rip, big bounce. Tesla's still ripping up. Apple testing highs as well. SoFi is all the way back, pretty much flat from earnings, which is interesting, but we'll give it time. We got the earnings call in about 30 minutes. And then Thursday, chat. So Thursday, we've got jobless claims. We've got non-farm productivity. We've got factory orders. And then we've got a bunch of earnings, chat. Specifically, all right, so Thursday morning, we've got Novo, Peloton, Moderna, a bunch of other ones. And then Thursday evening, we got Apple, Coin, Blockchain, Net, Bill.com, bookings, and a bunch of other ones. And then Friday is the big day as well. Outside of this one, we got non-farm employment, or we got non-farm payrolls, NFP data, and unemployment data dropping on Thursday. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go use the restroom here. While I'm gone, we're going to do a poll. What month this year does the Fed cut rates? That's the question. What month this year does the Fed cut rates? Chat. Write that number in chat. I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the restroom. But what month this year does the Fed cut rates? All right, we are back. So let's see what people said about the rate cut expectations. Tesla hit 186 right now, chat. 186. So look at Tesla rip. 186. SoFi all the way back down to $8. Again, here's SoFi's numbers. That coffee, guys, that coffee. Google just cracked lows here. Google's had a great time though since earnings. Still up a lot from earnings. Well, sales is the same thing as revenue, John. So if you hear sales, that's revenue. Yeah, Tesla at 185s, hit 186s. We got the earnings call for SoFi in about 20 minutes. All right, look at Apple rip up and break highs as well. Apple at 173.50s here. Big week this week. Yeah, look at Tesla up there, Apple up there. I'm in both these. I'm in Tesla, Apple, SoFi. I'm in all three of these companies. Tesla hit 190s. No, not yet. Tesla hit 186 as the highest today. SoFi at $8 even. Amazon still pushing up though. Amazon testing highs here, chat. Again, I'm in all of these. I'm just going to let them grind up. I don't think I'm going to take any profit here. I think I'm just going to sit back. All right, guys. Tesla at 185s. I wouldn't say SoFi struggling. It's pretty much flat. It's neutral from this report. Supermicro and AMD earnings will tank the market tomorrow. Maybe. Wait, Zevia has a public company? Zevia is a stevia cola brand. I drink them all the time. So they're kind of like a artificial, not a art. They're a healthy alternative to Coca-Cola. They're pretty good. I'll drink them. Yeah, so I'm seeing some people. So this girl's professor, ran her AI through an AI detector, and it came back that she used it for 27% of the paper. But she claims that she didn't use it at all, and that she's not sure why that's showing up. And again, I think we gotta give people the benefit of the doubt here. I think AI is certainly not perfect. So right now, Fidelity CD rates are currently at like a year-long CD is 5.4%. The problem is, why are they offering such good rates? Like, what's the risk of Fidelity here? I know it's all FDIC insured. Tesla just broke highs again. 186.15s right now, chat. 186.15s. Yeah, well, it's such an obscure brand, Ruggedy, that it's probably hard for them to get sales. Even if they're good, like, there's just not enough people that buy them. Like, I drink them all the time, but I'm not investing in them. Because, again, it's just too risky to buy them. There's just not enough people that would buy them, even if they were big. I don't know. I'm just not really. Yeah, 2-year CDs paying 5.3%. So you invest 100K, you're gonna make 10K a year in 2 years, or 10K in 2 years, roughly, about 5%. Yeah, Amazon earnings tomorrow, AMD earnings tomorrow, Supermicro Semiconductors earnings tomorrow. Look at Tesla, all the way up to almost 186.50, about to hit 187. It looks like. Yeah, I mean, this isn't really a crazy big rip for Tesla. Tesla is down a lot still, if you look at a longer term chart. Just kind of recovering from being down. They've been down. They've been down since July of last year, so they're finally rebounding some. And again, we bought the dip. We're in it right now. We're up a good bit from this dip. Yeah, I truly do believe the way we're teaching is wrong, Blaze. I think the way we're teaching kids in school is wrong. I think that, like, I know growing up, with for somebody that has ADHD, and to be fair, I think everybody is wildly over prescribing, medicine for ADHD. I think ADHD is wildly over diagnosed. I think everybody wants to claim to have ADHD to excuse their flaws. It's really what it looks like. I think almost everybody wants to claim to have ADHD, and I think it's diluting like what it is, and everybody wants to have it and blame their failures and all these different things on ADHD, right? But when somebody actually has it, like my son's a good example. It's hard to my son got in trouble because he couldn't sit down in school. Like, he was literally standing up in the classroom. He had a hard time sitting down. He will literally run back and forth. Stimming is what it's called, where he'll run back and forth. And again, a lot of people are going to say, hey, well, that's autism. It's not. Like, we've got him diagnosed, and he just doesn't have autism. But point is, it's hard for him to sit still, right? I'm the same way. If you ever see me and it looks like I'm shaking, I'm not shaking and my legs are bouncing. Not necessarily always ADHD that causes that, but point is, ADHD, I don't think there is such a thing as just ADD. I think it's all ADHD. I think it's all attention deficit and hyperactive. But I think the way we teach kids is wrong. I think we have a lot of resources now that we didn't have 50 years ago. And I think to teach kids the same way we did 50 years ago is a huge mistake, because I think that we can use some of the technology and advancements that we have now to just teach kids in a much better way. Keep them interested in it, because again, for somebody like me or my son, I have to be interested in whatever it is. You got to make it interesting. If you don't make it interesting, I'm going to zone out and miss 90% of what you say. And so you got to make it interesting. And I think we have the tools now, specifically with like AI, with technology, to do that in an effective way. Yeah, I mean, boys are hyper for sure. And again, it came with like, so with me growing up, right? And the same, what happened to my son mirrored what happened to me. Where I was young, it was hard for me to sit still. I was kind of socially awkward. I would blurt out things and like have a hard time sitting still. And so they wanted to put me on medication. I remember they put me on like Concerta is what they put me on, and I hated taking it. And again, somebody that actually has ADHD, if they take that medication, like if I take ADHD medication, like I've tried to be put on medication over the last like 5 years, and I couldn't do it. Like I would calm down and I would just sit still. Like I wouldn't run. I wouldn't, like, some people take ADHD medication and they're zooming around and they're cleaning and they've got so much energy and they think it's great. I would just literally sit still, like, and just sit on the couch and not do anything. I didn't want to go anywhere. I would just kind of sit there. And so I think if you actually have it, it'll do the opposite of what it does to everybody else. Anyways, I never took my ADHD medication. I never liked it. It would interfere with my eating and my sleep and just cause too many highs and lows, and I just didn't like it. So I just never took it. My son was the same way. The school pressured us to put my son on it. And we tried it. It didn't work. He had it just didn't help at all. It made things worse. All right, chat. Anyways, SoFi back up. It's over the 200 EMA. It's over the volume weighted average price. Apple up to 173s. Tesla at 185s. Almost. Yeah. Yeah, well, 15 months is just way different. SoFi still low. SoFi, I mean, it's pretty flat from the earnings. It hasn't really done much. Look at Apple. Apple did break highs. So Apple over 170s now, or over 173s now. Held support there, continued pushing up. I don't know if it's going to keep it up, but... yeah. Oh man, it's supposed to be instrumentals. Yeah, sorry, I gotta change this. It's supposed to be non-instrumentals. There we go. No, I'm not about to risk something dumb like that, Brandon. That's crazy. Honestly, dealing was dumb, bro. Like if you really try to be a dealer, that's the dumbest thing you could ever do. Like imagine a job where if you make money and build money up, the feds can step in and take it all away in a heartbeat. You know? Like I couldn't imagine thinking that was a good idea. I think most of the people that get involved with that do so because they want to look cool. You know, or they're influenced by music or whatever it is. But to be honest, it seems like the margins wise, it's not that good. The risks you're taking, like if you're looking at it in terms of probabilities, the risks far outweigh any reward that you're going to get from something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just wasting time and energy, unfortunately. Yeah, like, a lot of young people get wrapped up. It just seems dumb to me. Like, probability wise, like, the likelihood that you're going to succeed and make anything significant from it is so low. It just seems dumb to me. Yeah, for sure. I don't know what else. I was worried they were going to start rapping in that song, so I just turned it off. All right, look at Apple, guys. Apple all the way up to 173.50s here. Where do you think Tesla's opening up at? I don't know. Tesla at 186 right now. It looks pretty good. It depends on what happens for the rest of the morning, and I'm not sure. Again, we did have some earnings that dropped today. Specifically, we had Domino's Pizza come out with numbers. They came in better than expected. SoFi, we got Orange Semi, JKS, we got BBVA, DQ, a couple other ones. Nothing really big this morning. Again, it's the Fed decision week, so that's the big week it is this week. It's just the Fed decision. Hey, thank you, Michael. He said, quote, Tesla's pumping right now. Do you think we hit Tesla's lows and we'll continue to pump this week through FOMC? Wait, so, I mean, let me, again, I'm trying to understand your question, Michael. So you said, do you think we'll hit Tesla's low and it will continue to pump this week? What do you mean? Are you asking me if Tesla will hit lows, like down to 130s here? I don't know. Number one, I'm going to say, I don't know. Nobody knows. Tesla's up a lot short term. It's up to 180s. It looks really good. I think $200 is probably going to be kind of a milestone level that people are going to be paying attention to. And so it just depends on what the market does this week. I'm not sure. I hope it does. I hope I'm in it right now. So I hope it continues to go up. I hope it breaks $200. But again, I really don't know. Nobody does, and we can only speculate. Tesla had some really good news in the FSD approval overseas, and so that's really, really good news. So it depends on any catalyst. It depends on whether Tesla holds these gains, and I think that's the next argument: is does Tesla hold this rebound that it's made today? Because this is a big rebound back up to 187 is almost $200. So again, I'm not sure. I appreciate the donation. Thanks so much. I mean, do you think we hit the low of 150s the past week? Do you think FOMC could slow this pump down? Yeah, I mean, it certainly could. If the FOMC, so for the Fed meeting, we're almost certainly going to pause, right? A pause is almost certain to happen. We're almost certainly not going to raise rates. We're almost certainly not going to cut rates. And so we're probably going to have a neutral outcome in terms of the Fed's decision for the FOMC meeting, right? So in that regard, the bigger thing to look at here is specifically what Jerome Powell says during the conference, what he says during the Q&A, what he says during the, during the Fed interview. When Jerome Powell has the speech, what he says during the FOMC meeting is the most important thing. So whether Powell is hawkish or dovish, meaning if Powell is hawkish, that means he's pushing for a more restrictive monetary policy, trying to keep interest rates high. And so if Powell is hawkish, meaning he wants to sustain high interest rates, which is what we're in right now. The Fed has raised the federal funds rate and then continued to pause the federal funds rate. And so it depends on whether Powell is going to continue to sustain the FOMC, or whether Powell is going to continue to sustain the federal funds rate high, meaning he's hawkish, or if during his interview he talks about cutting rates earlier and he has more dovish, meaning less restrictive monetary policy, meaning he wants to bring interest rates down. Because again, when I say interest rates, originally I'm talking about the federal funds rate, which is short-term rates, and eventually that trickles into long-term rates. So if the Fed starts reducing the federal funds rate, eventually it's going to trickle into long-term rates as well. But it depends on his stance. We're also still doing QT, quantitative tightening, meaning Fed is reducing their balance sheet, trying to take liquidity away from the market, push the economy down a little bit to help inflation. And so it depends on whether what he says regarding QT and the implications of that. Tesla just hit 187s. But yeah, I appreciate the donations, brother. Thank you, man. Do you guys want me to cover the SoFi earnings call? I mean, it's just right in the middle of market stream is the only problem with that. Like, it's right in the middle, It's not going to be that long for SoFi earnings, but, you know. No, sir. Yeah, I'm probably not going to cover it, but it's all good. All right, look at Tesla up to almost 188s. We'll break 190s. $200, I think, is the obvious level everybody's looking at for Tesla. And we're doing really nice today, portfolio-wise. Hey, you love to see it. What about SoundHound AI? Maybe tomorrow's implications for AMD and that stuff is going to help. Palantir as well. We're still in Palantir. We're still in Palantir. Palantir's been bouncing up nicely, too. All right, guys, we're at 188s now for Tesla, 188s. Yeah, where's Meta at right now? I'm in Meta too. Meta down a little bit today, but that's all right. Meta's had a great month. Or no, actually, we're still very green on Meta. We got in Meta at 412. Tesla's pushing towards 188s here, chat. 188s. And if you haven't already, again, check out one of my sponsors, Apex. We're going to get ready to day trade on Apex. If you don't know what Apex is, listen, if you want to day trade, right, most day traders lose. If you put up 4K in the beginning trying to day trade, you're probably going to lose that 4K. That's just the objective truth behind it. Almost all day traders lose. It's kind of a rite of passage. You kind of have to lose in the beginning to have any type of risk management and like understanding. Realistically, I lost thousands when I first got started. Most people do. And so if you don't want to lose thousands learning to day trade, the best option is a funded account program. What a funded account program does is they give you a demo in futures, right? And in the futures market, there's no PDT rule. You can day trade the SPY, you can day trade the Q price action, not the SPY and Q directly, but you can day trade the S&P 500 futures, which is what the SPY tracks. You can day trade the NASDAQ 100 futures, which is what the Q tracks. No PDT rule, buy market, sell market, very similar to day trading stocks. The patterns are very similar to day trading stocks. And again, what they do is they give you a demo and they test your skill with that demo account first. The base one's only $30 if you use my link right now, $30, and I'm pretty sure it's ending this month in 2 days. Right, I'm pretty sure the sale ends in 2 days, but not 100% sure. But again, they're gonna give you a demo. The base one's $30. If you can hit $1,500 in profit on a 25K demo without losing $1,500 first while following their rules and conditions, they fund you 25K with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first 25K in profit. And this is powerful because it teaches you how to trade under pressure. You can get started for a very small amount of money. If you're good enough to pass the test, you get a 90% split anyway, which is similar to putting the money up yourself. But if you lose, you're only out for the base one $30. You know, the top one is only a couple hundred, and that's for 300,000 in funding. And so again, 90% split teaches you how to trade, and the best part is that if you lose, it's not the end of the world. You're not losing thousands of dollars like I did in the beginning. And so they are a sponsor of mine. I'm obviously biased in their favor because they pay me money. I'm always honest and transparent about that. Again, do not copy me. Remember, I have terrible at this stuff and I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything. Understand CFTC 4.41 and the implications of it. I don't claim to be profitable. I don't claim to be anything. Again, if you want to check out the link, here's the link. Use promo code BT, beginner trading, BT, 2 letters, beginner trading, BT, get you the max discount at all times, chat. There's the link right there. Check it out. I'm afraid to be happy about Tesla. I was psychologically preparing for $100, trying to stay in that mindset. Yeah, I mean, it looks good right now. I mean, we can't lie. It looks good. grinding up. You know, pretty green in pre-market. A lot of the dips that I bought over the last couple weeks are treating me nicely. So we're going to see if we can keep making money on them. Tesla's still grinding up. Apple up a lot as well. We're in Apple. I'll probably take a little bit off of Apple here. Like I'll probably take like 5 shares off of it. We're in a decent position here. So, yeah, we just cut 5 shares of Apple. Yeah, 188s are basically testing right now. Apple's still grinding up. SoFi is still pretty flat though. Yeah, it's a monthly fee. Somebody said, what's a movie you really liked but refused to watch again? Joker. Joker's a hard watch, man. A hard freaking watch. All right, Chad. Again, Tesla almost at 188. SoFi still under $8, which is kind of a shock here. Again, Tesla at almost 190. It did tap 188s fully here, so it did tap that. Good morning, bro. I'd like to see the channel growing. Yeah, man. Hey, thanks so much. Yeah, the channel's growing a lot, man. We're kind of keeping up with the big networks, which is a really fun thing. You know, like you know, today's slow, but like an example, during the FOMC meeting, we'll have like 5,000 people here, give or take. We might, you know, we'll have like 5,000 people, concurrent viewers watching on Wednesday. And so for big economic reports and releases, we get a decent amount of people. We had thousands of people here on Friday for PCE data. And so it's been a really fun channel, time growing the channel. We're kind of becoming people's go-to for economic reports. They know if something big's going on, we're going to stream it or cover it. And so it really has kind of, you know, we really have established this niche really well, and it's been fun. Face Off. Does anybody remember the movie Face Off? Like, it has got to be the most ridiculous freaking movie I've ever seen in my life. I used to love it as a kid. The most ridiculous movie you could ever watch. It's almost humor. It really is funny. My daughter and I watched the trailer, and she was like, I can't get them to watch it, but I've been trying to get my family to watch Face Off with me for a while. Yeah, there's a monthly fee for the PA, but you could also pay a lifetime. Pay it off for the lifetime. It just depends on what you want to do. You cover markets early? Yeah, we do. Top 10 movies of all time? I'm gonna go with Interstellar #1, Godfather #2, or I'm gonna go with Lord of the Rings as #1, Interstellar #2, Godfather #3. I'm gonna go with like Pulp Fiction as #4. Pulp Fiction is #4. I'm gonna go with like Gladiator for #5. #6. I'm gonna go with Goodfellas. #7. I'm gonna go with Casino. #8. I'm trying to think, man. #8, I'm gonna go with Django. #9, I'm gonna go with. I have to go. I have to look. I really have to kind of think about it. Interstellar, maybe. I don't know if I've done Interstellar yet. I like Christopher Nolan movies. I'll have to go back and see about 8 and 9, 10, but Shawshank. Okay, yeah, I'll go Shawshank for number 8. Green Mile is not good, Daphne. I mean, it's all right. My wife loves the Green Mile. I'm not a big fan of it personally. I think the whole thing is kind of ridiculous. You know, personally, I didn't like The Hobbit. Yeah, I already did Pulp Fiction. Troy is all right. Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street. I'm gonna go with Wolf of Wall Street for number 9. Lucy's all right. I wouldn't put it in the best movies ever made. I liked Oppenheimer, but not enough to rank it top 10. It was good. It got really redundant quickly, though. Like, it's basically a repeat of the same storyline for 3.5 hours. I just get kind of bored. It's like, yeah, we get it. He was a communist. You know, he was judged for being that or whatever. But, like, that storyline just kind of goes over and over. I just got bored of it, to be honest. Heat's good, but it's not top 10. Good Will Hunting. Yeah, there you go. Good Will Hunting will be number 10. Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting is number 10. Sounds like a parody. Nah. Marvel movies are good. None of them are the greatest movies of all time ever, though. Those are. None of those are even close to being top the best movies ever. All right, chat. Hey, Tesla pulling back a little bit down to 187s. Apple at 173.50s. Yeah, I've talked about this about the Wolf of Wall Street before, and I'll say it again, right? The problem with the Wolf of Wall Street is this. All right, like Leonardo DiCaprio, I have a short that says exactly the same thing. But Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, he was very outspoken about this movie. He said that people like Jordan Belfort are the worst people ever, right? They're the worst people in the world or all this stuff. You know, I talk about this, again, in a short that I made. But I think the massive irony that you can't ignore here from the Wolf of Wall Street is that Leonardo DiCaprio said that people like Jordan Belfort are the worst people ever, right? The ironic thing is that, like, the Wolf of Wall Street is supposed to be like a cautionary tale on greed, but what it actually does is it motivates people so much to become what Jordan Belfort was. It makes it look so much fun to be Jordan Belfort that a lot of people that watch it don't see it as a cautionary greed tale, and instead they turn into clones of Jordan Belfort. I'm sure the Wolf of Wall Street has made thousands of Jordan Belfort clones now out there in the world, people who want to be like Jordan Belfort. And so again, the irony is just too funny because Leonardo DiCaprio made that movie as a criticism on Jordan Belfort, and the end result ended up being that now everybody wants to act like that and be like that, and Stratton Oakmont is here, and people are just kind of like desperate to be rich, and so they're acting like Jordan Belfort. You know, it's funny, but it's also kind of sad. The Goonies is good, not the greatest movie of all time, though. Matrix is probably in there. Matrix probably should have been in there. Top Gun, nah. Karate Kid's good, not the best movie ever. Matrix is definitely there, though. I should have included The Matrix. That was one that I missed. Personally, I'd probably take Shawshank out and put The Matrix in. Shawshank is good. You know, it's close. But I would say it's top 15, not top 10. For me, personally, movies are so subjective, right? They're so opinion-based. But, yeah. I'm a big fan of, obviously, if you heard my list, I'm a big fan of, like, Scorsese, Tarantino mob movies, or Scorsese mob movies, Tarantino, like Pulp Fiction is probably one of my favorite movies. I like Christopher Nolan a lot. His movies are really good. Some of them. Tenet was a little bit too crazy and complex, but it was good. I liked it still. Arrival's good. Count of Monte Cristo is great. Man, that could be there, but still. Big Short. Yeah, Big Short probably should have been in there too. Catch Me If You Can is good. Moneyball is really good. I love Moneyball too. Yeah, these are all good movies. I like them all. Again, they're going to be in my top 20. The original Roadhouse isn't in my top 20. It was good, but it wasn't like, people act like Roadhouse was just this freaking, like, this Oscar-worthy movie. Of course it wasn't. Like, it was kind of like, they knew it wasn't a good movie when they created the original one in the 80s with Patrick Swayze. Like, they knew it wasn't good. You know, it's just kind of a cheesy movie that people liked. And I like it too. Like, it's a cheesy movie. It's good. It's not top 20. It's not supposed to be. You know, it's not supposed to be. People look back on it with kinder eyes because it's got Swayze in it and it's an 80s movie. But it's certainly not one of the best movies ever made. That's ridiculous, you know. Seven's good. Not top 20 though, in my opinion, but it's good. Children of Men, sad, yeah, for sure. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, not that good. All right, chat. Amazon pull it back a little bit. Tesla up to 188.20s here. Hit 188.22 as the new highs on Tesla. Still moving up. Apple at 173.60s. You know, Alien's all right. You know, my daughter and I recently watched Alien 1, 2, and 3. It's good, but I'm not gonna put it in my top. Again, it's just not my favorite. Lord of the Rings probably my favorite. Like, that was like the best movie. At least if we're looking at the whole trilogy, like that's probably the best trilogy ever made. Again, Tesla's still pushing up almost to 190s. Hit 188.50. 188, yeah, 188.50, 188.55 for Tesla. Still moving here. Departed's good. I wouldn't say it's top 20 though, or I wouldn't say it's top 10. Maybe top 20. Ex Machina's good. Not top 20 though. Jurassic Park's probably should have been in there. Training Day as well. I do like those two. The last Jurassic Park movies were just so freaking bad, though, man. Like Forgotten World is just so bad, dude. Like the last 3 Jurassic Park movies, horrible movies, just bad, just not good. Like, you gotta question who wrote those movies, man. Get Spielberg back, you know. Snatch is alright, not the top 20 though. Matrix is up there. I probably should have included Matrix in the top 10, but for me, Matrix is probably top 10 for sure. I wouldn't call it number 1 though. Very good movie though. Very good movie. I love the Matrix movies. I like when the Matrix originally came out. I was such a big fan of it that I wanted the phone. Like I remember I wanted to buy. They had that little phone that like you could press and it would go and open up. I wanted that phone so bad I almost bought it on eBay back in the day when the Matrix first came out. You know, it was like $800. My parents were like, nah. You know, my parents never got it for me. Of course, I think I asked for it for Christmas. They never got it for me. Reservoir Dogs. I mean, it's good. It's one of Tarantino's early movies, but it's not like it's good, but it's not that good. It ain't top 10 wise. It's really good for the amount of money they spent on it. But yeah, again, movies are so subjective. All right, chat, we're ripping up, breaking highs again on Tesla. Hit 189s even, almost the 190s. Fight Club's good. Again, Fight Club's good. I'm not going to put it in my top 10, though, personally. The Patriot's good. Not top 10, but good. Yeah, again, I already said The Godfather. Godfather's probably number 2 or 3. I mean, I like Avatar, but I'm not going to make him in the top 3 or top 5. Bronx Tale's good, just not top 10. My favorite mob movie is probably Goodfellas number 1, Casino number 2. I like The Bronx Tale. It's probably top 10. I like The Irishman is good, even though The Irishman might not be true. The Irishman's good. Let me look these up. I like Donnie Brasco, Scarface, The Departed, The Irishman, Road to Perdition, Eastern Promises. They're all pretty good. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction. You know, Godfather, obviously. But yeah, so if I had to do top 10 mob movies, I'm gonna go with Godfather number 1, Goodfellas number 2, Casino number 3, Departed number 4, Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction should be a little bit higher, but I never really considered it a mob movie. Once Upon a Time in America, maybe number 6. Eastern Promises 7. Irishman, I don't know if I said that, 8. Scarface 9. You know. Bronx Tale 10 maybe. Alright, chat. Scarface is good. I'm not a big fan of old movies though. Like, I don't like really old movies. All right, anyways, look at Apple break highs again. SoFi dumping down to 770s here, chat. So SoFi is down. Look at SoFi decreasing here. Interesting. So SoFi down to 760s here, chat. I wonder if they're saying something during the earnings call that made people not like it. Let me take a look. Again, SoFi posted Q1 net revenue of $645 million and net income of $88 million, and marks the second consecutive quarter of GAAP profitability. Yeah, again, we're probably not going to stream the earnings call for SoFi. They're saying something, though, that's all the way down to 730s for SoFi. Very big drop. Man, what's going on for SoFi? Something's happening. Are they doing it? The only thing I can think of is if they announced an offering potentially here. Casino Royale's good. I wouldn't call it top like that, personally. Might add a little bit to SoFi here. Fix my average price. Alright, we added a little bit to SoFi. We'll play with it. I mean, again, we're in SoFi right now. We're very green on the day. We're not going to be red on the day no matter what. I think I'm in Ford. Yeah, I'm in Ford. They already announced good guidance. So SoFi posted guidance numbers here if we look at them. They said that they expect 2024 GAAP EPS of 9 cents. They expected 8 cents. They raised 24 tangible book value growth of around 800 million to $1 billion. So yeah, they raised 24 guidance mostly for SoFi. Tesla got 189s, hit 189s. Again, so we added on this dip for SoFi. It looks like it was the right move to add because we are rebounding all the way back up. You'd love to see it. Menace to Society is good. If we're going by that genre, though, I would say Boys in the Hood is probably the best movie there. All right, so Joey Swole on Twitter said he's 1 day home from cardiac ICU and I feel great but very sore and very beat up. I went out on Friday for a routine diagnostic angiogram, which was supposed to take 30 to 45 minutes. During the procedure, a piece of the tool they used fell off inside my heart, causing a lot of problems and me to crash. 6 hours later, awake and praying for every second of it. After going and through both sides of my groin and my wrist. They were finally able to retrieve it. It was a miracle. The doctor has never seen this happen before. I am home healthy, doing work, feeling great, but just very physically and mentally beat up. I still feel like I'm on that table looking up at the beige ceiling and bright lights as I lie there helpless. Man, that's crazy, dude. Diagnostic angiogram. I gotta look at what that does. Uses x-ray images to look for blockages in the blood vessels. Yeah, but then how are they gonna... Wait, what? Does that even make sense? This isn't me, right? So this is not me. Chad, this is Joey Swole on Twitter. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I think the problem, like, yeah, I mean, again, I think the problem when you're as big as Joey is that he's almost certainly taking juicing. Like, nobody's that big off of juice. They're just not, unfortunately. I think he's a good dude, though. Seems like he stands for the right things, and so shout out to him. But yeah, the problem is, like, anybody that's that big is almost certainly on roids, unfortunately. And those things can cause bad damage to your heart over time. I'm not even necessarily against them if you can take them and be reasonable and normal on them. Like, but yeah. All right, Tesla right at 190 is about to hit 190s here, chat. So Tesla about to at 190 or 189.92. SoFi bounced back though, so we are now basically flat on SoFi. All right, so we hit 190s on Tesla, still creeping up. We're pretty close to 200s here, and I think Tesla might make a push towards 200. Yeah, man. Oh, I'm scared to go under. I don't like being put to sleep, man. Last time I had an endoscopy, I freaking hated it. Yeah, Tesla almost to 190s here, chat. 190s. Yeah, SoFi dumped. We added on the dip, and now it's bouncing back at about 770s right now. Again, Tesla at 190.50s here, 190.50s. Again, SoFi at 765s. Yeah, again, Tesla at 190 plus. Will it break $200 today? Chat, what do you guys think? SoFi. I don't know why it dumped, but it's starting to bounce back a little bit here too. Alright. Oh man. I feel so much better this week, man. Last week I felt rough. My daughter was sick. My son was okay. My son was fine. Yeah, I mean, I guess, chat, like, here's the problem, right? I think this is, if you want to know where you're making the biggest rookie mistakes, I'm going to talk about it really quick right here. Okay? So people make the biggest rookie mistakes in getting too bearish on companies, in my opinion, right? Sometimes they're probably getting too bullish on companies as well, right? But like an example is like something like Tesla, okay? Something like Tesla, and I think people get emotional about it, but when you look at a yearly chart, look at how much Tesla is down. Tesla is down from 299s all the way down to basically 140s, 150s. You know, so Tesla makes these moves. And for whatever reason, people are still bearish on it. Like, the reality of it is your edge is going to be so freaking low. Like, for whatever reason, okay, I think smart traders have this type of mindset where if you have a healthy blue chip company like Tesla and you're decreasing that much over time, the likelihood after a certain amount of dips like this, with Tesla just dropping so freaking low down to 140, the likelihood over time is that Tesla's a strong company. It still does really good for EPS. Its revenue is still very high. And so over time, the likelihood is that we're going to bounce back like this over time. Like, getting so bearish on Tesla that you think it's just going to drop 90% is just obviously not going to happen. And it's something that traders get wrapped up in their hate for different stocks and their hate for individual companies. And again, that's too emotional of a view. Like, you have to understand swings and stocks and momentum, and specifically extension. When something drops as much as Tesla down to 140s, the probabilities are on the upside, not the downside. You know, and again, that's the biggest mistake I see people making. Same thing with like Apple. Apple is a really good example of this. If you look at Apple chart, people get so bearish. It's silly, right? Like Apple, one of the strongest companies in the world, objectively, one of the strongest companies in the world. It dropped this year. It's down from 200 all the way down to 165s. You know, and like for whatever reason, people act like Apple, one of the strongest companies in the world, is going to come all the way down under 140s, under 130s, under 120s, down to $100 a share. And then when it doesn't, and Apple ends up just ripping higher, they're like, hey, what happened? I don't know what happened. It's like, y'all are too short biased. Y'all are too bearish. Like, betting against the strongest companies in the world, number one, in my opinion, is ridiculous. Like, the edge is so low. You're taking one of the biggest sucker bets you could ever get involved with. And again, it causes Tesla to do squeezes like this. Number two is that it's Apple. It's one of the strongest companies in the world. The PE's relatively low. And so it's fine to bet on small dips, right? Like an example of this is like if a stock moves up on the year and has a pullback like this is fine to bet on. Like betting on stuff like this is okay and normal, right? But to think it's going to go something like this instead, right? To think it's going to like go like this is a completely different bet that's so improbable that it's a ridiculous, like, again, the only way I can describe it is a sucker's bet. It's for traders that don't know any better, you know. And so I think you can have an edge shorting, but not that much. Like companies, like the biggest companies in the world, are not going to turn like that, and that's just completely unrealistic of an expectation for it. And I love taking advantage of people that are like that. Because if you look at some of the trades I get involved with, right? Like I've gotten involved with a bunch of different companies. I bought Apple on this pullback, very green on Apple. I bought Tesla on this pullback, very green on Tesla. I bought a bunch of stuff on these pullbacks, and now I'm very green on it. I bought Meta on the dip too recently. After Meta dipped all the way back down, I got in Meta at 412s. My average price on Meta right now is 412s. Meta's at about 440 right now. And so again, being too bearish on these companies, expecting them to pull back too much, is a rookie trader thing, in my opinion. And it's something that I see people get the most wrong. You know, they're so biased. Something's dropped 30%. You think it's going to continue to drop. Like, sometimes it will. Probabilities wise, that's pretty low, you know. Yeah, and then when it doesn't happen, they say all this crazy stuff. That's when they say the market doesn't make sense. I know, man. And again, you got to look at it objectively. They say manipulation. Oh, and it's like, no, man. Extension is real. Like, you got to look at extension. Market's based around traders' investments. If traders are, you know, down a certain amount, the likelihood's on the upside, like at a certain point. People are going to start buying the dip. Funny to hear that after the fact, no one was talking this upside on Tesla prior to earnings. I certainly was, of course. Like I bought Tesla prior to the earnings report. I told people I thought Tesla would be strong from FSD, and that I thought FSD and the future of Tesla was strong, but short term, who knows what's going to happen, but long term, obviously, you know. Yeah. I mean, you could be bearish on Tesla long term. Again, what I'm here to tell you guys is this. Take any individual, any specific company out the picture and understand it like this, chat. You might be able to find an edge shorting the strongest companies in the world, right? Like you might be able to find an edge doing it. But if you get stubborn with it, you're going to lose your whole account, you know? So like you might be able to find an edge shorting super big companies, but the edge is very small. Don't get too wrapped up in it. because the longer you hold those positions, the less likely you are to make money. The longer you hold a short position on a blue chip stock, the less likely you are to make money. The longer you hold a long position on a blue chip stock, the more likely you are to make money. So time is your friend when you're investing in the blue chips, because even if you're wrong short term, typically, unless you get unlucky, eventually the company's going to move higher and you're going to make money, right? And so with that specific truth in mind, it makes absolutely no sense to short blue chip companies like that. Like if the longer you hold a short, the less likely you are to make money, wouldn't it make way more sense to just buy extended on the downside blue chip companies and let time be your friend? I'm green on the year doing this. I'm very green on the year doing this. We're up thousands on the year and unrealized. So, if we took profit right now, we would be. And I'm pretty sure we're net green on the year as well, but I have to check. But the point is, use the real edge in blue chip companies, which is long term. That's the most powerful way to do it. If you get wrapped up in shorting and chasing, whatever, there's just a lot of risk. Yeah, no, I literally called exactly what was going to happen with Tesla. Do you guys remember? I literally called it to a T what was going to happen prior to the earnings. I told people that because of extension on the downside for Tesla, that it could post worse than expected EPS, worse than expected revenue, and still rip up 5%, I think was almost verbatim what I said prior to the earnings coming out. And so I hit it right on the head with Tesla. I got it exactly right. Now, again, I'm not claiming to be the greatest of all time. I'm definitely top 3 ever in the world, but not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. Yeah, I mean, again, bearish, bullish is a subjective thing, George. Again, though, man, prior to Tesla, I was bullish because of extension. It was just down so much. And blue chip companies are not going to drop that much down. Almost ever. Like sometimes, like very, very rarely will that ever happen. And so betting on that happening is a risky bet, for lack of a better word. Yeah, I mean, personally, I think betting on any really healthy blue chip company is dumb. Personally. Again, I'm not trying to say dumb like you're dumb, but I think it's just too risky to justify. I would rather take the real edge. Like the biggest edge in the stock market is long-term value investing. Which means that I can buy blue chip companies, and if I'm wrong short term, I can let time heal those wounds. Time heals a lot of wounds in stocks. I can buy blue chip companies. If I'm wrong, I can sit on them long enough. Eventually, I'm going to make money on it. And I would rather let that edge work for me than trying to somehow try to pick the top of blue chips and being super limited and risky. That's just not my style. But again, I'm sure some people can make money on it. The only way I would ever short like that is if I had like a short report. Like Hindenburg is a good example where I identified really risky plays, had a big following, made a report about it, profited from the downfall. Like that would be that. I would do that, but I don't have that. But maybe in the future. I don't love or hate anything, Solman. I'm bullish on Tesla right now. I'm in Tesla right now, so. Tesla hit 192s. Will it break 200 today? Yeah, Nvidia hit 870s. It's now finally pulling back. Now it's 880s. I told people before, man, again, the problem with Nvidia is simple. It's like people say Nvidia is just so extended on the upside. They say, oh, Nvidia is so extended. It's so extended on the upside, right? And then when I ask them to explain that extension, again, the big difference is over the past few years, right? Like EPS is 6 times at what it was a year ago, right? So the PE ratio has basically stayed flat for Nvidia over the last year and a half. People act like the price has increased without the justified earnings increase, but that's not true at all. If you look at the PE, if you look at the EPS ratio for Nvidia right now versus what it was exactly a year ago in April of 2023, the EPS, the earnings per share, has 6x'd. It's gone up 6 times what it was a year ago. So earnings power increasing from AI is up 6 times what it was a year ago. If we look at if we look at revenue increases, revenue has increased about 3x, and the share price has increased about 3x. And so revenue to share price increase has been parallel for the most part. And so I guess my point is, people acting like Nvidia is just so extended on the upside. When I bring up these metrics, I never hear an argument back. I never really hear an argument back. People say, oh, Nvidia is so hyper extended. It's like, okay, but the revenue and the earnings have increased in a parallel way to the share price, right? So I would say yes, Nvidia is extended if share price increased and earnings power stayed the same, right? Like if the EPS stayed the same and the share price 3x, that would be an extended argument, like an extension argument. If revenue had stayed the same but share price had 3x, then we could call it extended on the upside. But if EPS, if earnings per share has 6x'd, it's gone up 6 times what it was a year ago, and share price has increased 3 times what it was a year ago, what's extended? Same thing with revenue. But, and again, I do hear PE ratio, and the PE ratio is objectively high, but that's what it was a year ago. So that's what PE was already like this a year and a half ago. So it's not like the PE ratio has increased dramatically over the last year. That's not true at all. And again, those come from people that don't really understand the inside of in terms of how much these companies make right now. So AI has increased Nvidia's bottom line in a massive, massive way, I think is the point. Yeah, dude, there was people telling us, like, look, when Nvidia hit $300-$400, people were yelling, saying, and those are usually the people that are the most bearish now because they missed out on the run. Yeah, I'm in Apple right now. I took about a third of the position off this morning, but yeah, I'm in Apple. All right, chat, I will be right back in 60 seconds. If I take longer than 60 seconds, chat, you can call me dummy for the rest of the day. All right, we're going to put a timer up, 60-second timer. All right, if we take longer than 60 seconds, you can call me dummy for the rest of the day. All right, ready? Chat, will I take longer than 60 seconds? I'm going to run over here. All right, ready? Will I take longer than 60 seconds? All right, we are back. We didn't take longer. You won't be able to call me dummy. Now, sorry to hear that, chat. Sorry, my skin's dry. I'm kind of putting this dry stuff on my skin because my skin's just really freaking dry, man. All right. Try to keep my skin not dry. My skin gets all red and dry if I don't use something for it. All right, so Nvidia's still green. We're gonna get ready to day trade a little bit here, chat. Let's do it. We had a pretty good week last week day trading. So if we check out our performance last week, this was our performance last week on this is our actual funded account last week. So last week we had a great week. You can see our profit factor was 5.25 to 1, or our win-loss ratio was 5.25 to 1. We had about $610 in profit here. Not a bad little graph though. Not bad at all. I will take it. We are nicely green on this account. kind of slowly grinding it up. Let's go ahead and put this up on screen so we can get ready to trade a little bit. And again, in the futures market, you can day trade, short, all that good stuff. No PDT rule. We'll put the NASDAQ up. I'm going to try buying this little dip. This is why I'm kind of pulling it up right now, because it looks like we're in a little range here. We got 2 contracts in the micros. Try to build up a cushion first is what we're trying to do. I had to grab a different. I have a different lotion. It's supposed to be for sensitive skin, but yeah. So we bought this dip. We're in 2 contracts, so I might add up to 4, but you know, I think we got to be patient. We're at kind of the bottom of the range here. Alright, so we're up a little bit again. I'm trying to be patient with this. I'm probably just going to sit tight. Yeah, SoFi at the bottom here. So here's SoFi, Apple, looking good. Alright, so we're up a little bit on this position here. I'll probably add to this. So we're going to add a little bit more to the position. Wait, what happened? I thought I just added to that. Okay, now we're in 4 contracts. Weird, but hey, it's alright. Alright, so nice. We're up about 12 bucks. I like this range. There we go. Alright, we just took half off, locked it in. I don't know if we're lagging a bunch on this or what. Weird. Oh, I could add some more to it, I guess. All right, so we added back to it. See, we're up like 20 bucks. Took some profit. I don't know if it retraced right when we sold or what, but. Okay, there it goes. It took a little while to reflect. Okay, so we're green. Yeah. All right, good. We got a cushion. I like this downwick. I'd invest in Disney if it pulled back a little bit, but it's at 112s, 115s now. There we go. Starting to grind this up a little bit more. Nice. We're up about 30 bucks or so on the day. Attacking the bounce. We'll go ahead and cut that. And again, we are day trading on Apex funded account program. You can see how similar it is to day trading stocks. Now, we're just trying to build our base cushion up on the day. What we try to do is we build up a cushion first. And if we can, then we take larger risk. And if we can't, We're only down what, the easiest way to put it is like I try to build up a cushion of a couple $100. If I have a cushion of $100 to $200, then I'm allowed to take larger size. That way, if I take larger size and then lose, I'm back to break even since I already had a cushion prior to that. And then I have to scale back down and then build up another cushion before I scale back up in size. And I can rinse and repeat that until it sticks and I actually have a big trade with good size. And that's when we get really good days. And that allows me sometimes to have small losses and big winning days. And again, this is a funded account program. This is a 100K funded account. So we are already funded here in this account, and we've been grinding it up ever since. We're up a decent amount on it. We're going to keep grinding it up. And again, if you want to check out Apex and try to get funded with me, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased. Again, understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance results have limitations. Remember, I am terrible, have no idea what I'm talking about, maybe wildly wrong about anything I say. Don't sue me, don't copy me. Not an investment professional, not liable if you lose. Top 3 worst traders of all time ever in the world right now. But check out Apex right here. If the rate comes in at 5.5, is it bull or bear for markets? Of what rate? If the federal funds rate? Let me see. I mean, it's expected to come in at from 525 to 550. So I mean, it's a neutral outcome. If that happens, it's a neutral outcome. Yeah, Tesla got FSD approval overseas in China. That's why it's up so much today. Here, I'm gonna have to go get a different lotion for my face. I'll be right back, chat. Be right back. All right, we're back. Yeah, I don't know why my face dries out like this. Some lotion just makes it worse too, man. I'm gonna have to just keep using what I'm using. All right, so yeah, Tesla rip it up today. Obviously hit 192s. The question is whether Tesla hits $200 today. I don't know. I don't know whether it does or not. We'll see. All right. Like, I got really dry skin, man. My skin is always dry. I have to put like moisturizer on it constantly. All right. Anyways, chat. Tesla, biggest bullish move today. Where's my headphones at? What'd I do with them? What'd I do with them? Let's take them off. There you go. There they are. All right. Yeah, I just got really dry skin. I always have. All right, so we got this little mini pullback in the NASDAQ. I don't think I'm going to mess with it, though. I don't think I'm going to take any larger size here. I'm going to wait. We're too top of range. We could continue sideways here, and I don't want to take that risk of just getting stuck in sideways chop. Looking at our poll numbers here, we got thousands of votes. 78% say no. No rate cuts. Again, I agree. I think we're not going to cut rates. Hey, Chad, we need less than 100 subs to break 135,000 subscribers. Do it now. I'm going to throw it in sub-only mode, Chad, if you haven't already. Do it now. So if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Yeah, man. How about Mike Perry KOing people? Hey, no, I appreciate it, Michael, but just because I don't know who. Yeah, I mean, Michael, we're not gonna plug other channels, bro. Like, again, just not worth it, man. It's too hard for me to vet the other channels, dude. So, sorry, bro. We gotta have to delete that comment. Too many times, like, the reality is, too many times this specific things happen. They'll be like, hey, check out beginner trading and Billy Bob's trading, guys. Billy Bob's got the greatest content ever. And I'm like, all right, I go look at Billy Bob. He's got like 3 freaking viewers there. He's got like 3 freaking viewers. And so it's really usually Billy Bob himself that's coming to the stream under a different name saying, hey guys, beginner trading and Billy Bob's market content's the greatest content ever. You know, so it's too hard for me to vet. There's too much undercover people like trying to plug themselves, unfortunately. And I don't necessarily think that's what you did, Michael. I think you were probably genuinely promoting others. So it's all good, bro. I appreciate the plug, you know. Yeah, it's all good, dude. It happens. Again, just from my perspective, too many people are like, you know. Any important earnings today? We got some earnings this evening. Yeah, no, I feel you, Mike. I know. I looked at. I could tell you that's not what you were doing, but yeah, I just kind of gotta, you know. Domino's is already out. Unfortunately, I get sick every time I eat Domino's. Less than 5% of the global population is invested in crypto, according to Watcher Guru. What's the Berkey drama in what's the Berkey drama in poker? How about Ronda Rousey coming out saying craziness? Like she's the greatest fighter of all time ever. What a ridiculous statement for somebody that has absolutely no striking skills whatsoever. You know what I mean? Ronda Rousey has a fundamental misunderstanding about why people don't like her. You know, so Ronda Rousey is really interesting. She was one of the greatest women's MMA fighters of all time. She joins the UFC, goes undefeated for a number of years, right? The entire time, her attitude is horrible. Like, just the worst attitude you could ever. Like, refusing to shake people's hands after the fight. Like, it's one thing to be all hard and mean before the fight, trying to mess with your opponents. It's another thing to, after the fight, once you tap them out, refusing to be, like, a good sport about it and refusing to shake their hands. Just shows massive insecurity on her part, right? And so she goes around acting like the biggest brat you could ever imagine in trading. Or, that's me, top 3 biggest brats ever. The biggest brat you could ever imagine in the UFC. And then eventually, it comes back to her. Eventually, the check comes, and she gets KO'd by Holly Holm. Prior to getting KO'd by Holly Holm, she refused to shake her hand. She made fun of her, and Holly Holm was being super respectful and nice and just genuine. Like, hey, like, you're the great fighter. I wish you the best, all this stuff. And Holly Holm kicks her in the face. And afterwards, she makes excuses. She comes back. She gets KO'd in about 30 seconds from Amanda Nunes. Gets KO'd in about 30 seconds. Eventually, she leaves, and she goes to WWE, like fake fighting, right? Like, she goes to professional wrestling, WWE, and they turn her into the heel. Like, they turn her into the bad guy, right? And then, when people don't like her, because she's scripted to be the heel. She's the heel. She's the bad guy. You know, she's scripted to be the heel and bad guy. When people don't like her for it, she freaks out and gets like emotional. It's like, lady, you were supposed to be the bad guy. Like, that's what they're supposed, the crowd's supposed to not like you. You know, like, how are you gonna get mad at the crowd for not liking the heel? You know, then she gets super emotional, starts calling wrestling fake, goes out there and just starts lashing out at everybody. You know, lashing out like, oh, professional wrestling's fake, professional wrestling's fake. It's like, then why did you join them and take part in the scripts? If you knew, or if it was so fake and it's she said it was like an insult to MMA. If that's the case, why'd you sign the contract for it? You know, like, the whole thing just comes across as super emotional. Now she's out here claiming to be the greatest fighter of all time. It's like, lady, dude, sit down, bro. Like, just ridiculous. Tesla started to push up. At 192. I mean, granted, she's accomplished more than I'll ever accomplish, most likely. But, I mean, still, you got to do it with some grace here. The biggest problem is how she joins professional wrestling, plays the heel. The crowd doesn't like the heel. And then she gets mad at the crowd. Like, not just, like, scripted acting, like, but, like, actually mad at the crowd, you know? Like, she joins professional wrestling, has a huge edge over all the other professional wrestlers, and then has the audacity to say that she didn't have enough opportunities. It's like, lady, you got put in front of everybody else. Like, just genuinely crazy. Like, literally crazy. Actually crazy, I think. Anyways. There's some documentaries on it. They're fun watch. Sunny V has a good documentary on it. Yeah, that's the one I watched, bro. Interesting for sure, man. I think the thing is like, if you've got deep-seated insecurity issues, do not play the heel. All right, do not play the heel. I don't think, Yeah, it could be CTE. Although she never really, she didn't really get KO'd enough to have math. I don't think she has that much. I don't think she's punch drunk. I think she's just got issues, Yeah. Yeah, I just think she's got issues. I never liked her. Some people were acting like she was so hot. I just never found her to be. She was just never really I never found her very never mind. Anyways. Yeah, she was saying crazy stuff like she could beat Floyd Mayweather at boxing. She was saying crazy stuff like she could beat Cain Velasquez, at MMA. Of course not. That's a ridiculous. Cain Velasquez is a 265 pound, NCAA wrestling heavyweight. Really, Pawn. That's interesting. Should I sell it open or diamond hands? What? Tesla almost back up to the highs of the day here. We'll see if it hits. All right, so we did get this little pullback. We're still in this pretty choppy range, though. Here's the range. Mostly sideways. We might be able to argue that we have a little bit of an angle here, like this, but I don't think it's big enough to really have that argument, I think we're just in a choppy range. Paragliders are sketchy, dude. There was a... Should I buy this dip? I guess I'm gonna buy this dip. Although it's kind of we're up so much. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and buy this here. Take 3 contracts. We got a nice little cushion on the day that we can play into with this, so we'll add on a larger dip if we can. Tesla testing the highs of the day here. That's the reason I'm buying this, because Tesla is heavily weighted enough to where it should help, but... Alright, so there's 4 contracts. There we go. All right, take half off. A little bit more, locked it in. Complete retracement all the way back down. Look at this. So we did take profit into it. We'll add to this dip though. There's 4 contracts back. Kind of a fast dip. I don't know what happened in the market. I gotta look at Nvidia maybe, see if it's dragging. Yeah, Nvidia's turning. See, that's the problem here. All right, I'm gonna cut half of this just to protect the trade. This is a little bit too risky, to be honest. So we got 2 contracts left. All right, we just took a little bit more off there, protected the trade. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. Again, I see Nvidia struggling here. Nvidia's now under the... Nvidia's flat on the day, but it's at 870, so it's still pretty strong. All right, so we are moving back up at the top of the range. Tesla looks like it's about to break highs of the day. It's at 191.60s. So look at Tesla up here. It's about to break potentially 192s. Yeah, this is futures trading. All right, so again, SoFi is pretty much flat here. Hasn't really done that much, unfortunately. All right, so we're starting to test the top of the range. So Tesla did break highs, got up to 192.30s. Will it break 200 today, chat? We'll see. chat. We got about 25 minutes left until the market opens. Tesla's still breaking highs at 192.50s here. John, I remember you recently said the first move isn't the right move in the market. I mean, it's not always. I said sometimes the first move isn't the right move. It's never definitive. What move are you talking about, though? I don't think we really have any economic data except for maybe SoFi. And so that's usually like catalyst-wise, specifically earnings and economic reports. Outside of those things, we don't really have anything like that. Tesla's up because of a good news report. So Tesla's up because of good news. They got FSD approval overseas, right? So that's the good news for Tesla. That's the reason it's up so much. Big pullback here. I'm going to buy this dip. We're going to take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 contracts here. We have a cushion on the day that we can play with, and we got a big enough pullback short term to where we might have some positive edge on the upside. But again, don't copy me. We're trading futures right now. We built up a cushion, and so we can scale up our size with the small cushion first. See if we can build up a larger cushion is what we're doing here. SoFi and Tesla. Well, Tesla's like a news-related event here. So, like, Tesla is up because of good news, justifiably so. Like, Tesla had really good news, FSD approval overseas, an upgrade. And so all those things combined is making Tesla run. You know, Tesla's already down a lot anyway, so, you know, Tesla's move is justifiable. SoFi is pretty flat on this report, down from their earnings call. Although SoFi, maybe you could argue that. But I don't think we can argue that necessarily on Tesla. Tesla's just up on good news, you know. Like, that's more so like if inflation data comes in high and the market pushes up, sometimes that move is wrong because inflation data should be dragging the market down and so forth. But with Tesla, it's actually like legit good news that's come out, so. All right, so we're taking our swing, our first real swing of the day with 8 contracts here on the NASDAQ. It is breaking down, though. We'll see if we swing back up. We're pretty flat on the day, but we're not going to hold this very long, to be honest, especially if it keeps going down. So energy, that must mean that you're bearish on Tesla? All right, if we crack this low one more time, we're cutting this. I'll give it a second to bounce back up, but... Like sometimes it'll tap you out, it'll stop you out, and then it'll keep going. But yeah, I should have cut it. All right, so we're down on the day. We are down a whopping $9. So it could be worse, to be honest. A little bummed out about it, but we just kind of dumped down. Anyways. Yeah, I mean, again, I talked about this earlier, right? What I spoke about earlier is that I think one thing that traders get wrong sentiment-wise is that traders will, you know, they think that blue chip stocks are usually not going to drop, you know, 50% in a year, 60% in a year. If they do, the extension's probably on the upside. You know what I mean? So like if they do end up dropping that much, it's usually more probable that they're going to bounce back, right? That they're going to start heading up from deep extension to the downside. Like I think sometimes bears get so overzealous that like a stock can go down, 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 and they act like it's just going to crash down to zero. Blue chip stocks are just not going to behave that way. And so I think one of the reasons if we get any major pullback, I'm usually there to buy it up in blue chips. It depends on which company, of course, but I'm usually there willing to buy it up, you know? So. So a big turnaround, chat, all the way back to the bottom of the range here. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty neutral on the day. We built up a cushion, and then we swung with that cushion and tried to build up some more. And then now, you know, we just kind of got to wait on it. It's at the bottom of the range now, though, so maybe we'll get some good movement. I'm not sure, Keith. You have to check with them, brother. I'm not really a big crypto trader in that regard. Like, I'm not usually trying to trade crypto there, you know. A lot of this is due to Nvidia finally coming back down. Nvidia's up so much over the last few days that Nvidia finally starting to come back down. You know, Nvidia was at 750 back on the 19th. It's now at 880s, so it's rebounded a lot. So, you know, it's finally pulling back a little bit in pre-market today. That's kind of dragging most stuff back down. Yeah, we're back to where we just made our money back. We bought a little bit of the E-mini, and now we're riding it back up, and so we're slightly green on the day. You know, allowing this to work for us some more. You know, we got 4 contracts in the micro E-mini here. You can see we're up a decent amount. I'll go and take another piece off just to lock it in. Bouncing up even more. We'll go and take another piece off, lock that in too. So we're back to green on the day. I'll take it. You can kind of see our trades here. We got 2 contracts at the E-mini. We'll let this work a little bit. Just trying to see what's what in Tesla. I'm looking for another entry long term. The compensation plan and drama stuff mixed with good things like FSD news is confusing. Yeah, I mean, I'm more bullish on Tesla long term. Short term, who knows what's going to happen, you know? So that's kind of my stance on it. Like, I'm bullish long term on Tesla. Short term, it's volatile. And so you just got to be ready to deal with that volatility short term, you know, in my opinion. All right, chat, we're going to get ready to day trade at the opening bell here. Very flat range, though, in the NASDAQ. Again, it's mostly getting pulled down by Nvidia, I would say. Tesla broke some highs, though, and looks good. But again, I would argue it's mostly getting pulled back from Nvidia. Still at the bottom of the range, though. I'm going to buy this dip. We're at the bottom of the range. I can. Oh my gosh, I just bought 4 contracts. I didn't mean to do that. Oops. Did not mean to do that. I meant to buy 1 and just do a little feeler trade. Now we're breaking down. we just took half of it off. Alright, took another little piece. I guess we'll let the rest roll here. We didn't mean to. At least we're going to make a little bit from it. Oh no, misclicks happen to everybody. It's inevitable, to be honest. Like, misclicks are going to happen. It's inevitable. What are we thinking on the SPY today? I don't know. The SPY's up a lot, you know. Yeah, I mean, SPY's up a decent amount. There we go. We'll go ahead and cut that profit on there. We're taking some off in the regular E-mini. So we still got 4 contracts left here. Beautiful trades right now. We're going to take another off here. So yeah, we've made most of our money back, and now we're just kind of grinding this bounce play up. I'm going to go and cut the E-mini. We'll probably stop trading the E-mini. And again, if you want to day trade with me on Apex, I'm day trading basically the QQQ price action in futures. There's no PDT rule, buy market, sell market. You can see what I'm doing. Very similar to day trading stocks. There's just no PDT rule in futures, and Apex is a funded account program. Limits your risk. If you want to get started for a very small amount, the base one's $30. If you pass it, you get 25K in funding. If you don't pass it, you're only down $30. So best of both worlds, in my opinion. They've paid out over $100 million to their traders. They fund thousands of traders a year. Great way to learn how to day trade or get started if maybe you don't have that much money. Although they are a sponsor, I'm biased. They pay me money, so I'm biased. Understand CFTC 4.41, all that good stuff, chat. Understand all this stuff. And again, if you want to check them out, use promo code BT. Beginner Trading BT, 2 letters. BT gets you the max discount. The sale ends the day after tomorrow, I believe, as well here. So. Yeah, sorry, my skin is dry this morning, man. I don't know why. I was sick for a week or so. I didn't really use any moisturizer. That might be why. NVIDIA. Yeah, chat, we're just sitting tight. Again, very rangy right now. So one thing that you'll see me do today mostly is I'll buy the bottom of this range, buy the bottom, cover midway or at the top if I can, you know. And again, a lot of new traders make the simple mistake if they try to target low of the day shorts, they try to target range breaks. Like, the real issue is, like, if you short this, you're gonna get faked out so much. Experienced traders are buying this up, they're riding it up. Same thing here, chat. Like, you can kind of see an example of this. Like, a lot of rookie traders will buy stuff like this, where we break this high right here, and so they buy this breakout and they just get dumped down on. This happens a lot. Again, buying the top of the range is usually a dumb thing. You got to just be smart. What bank is the one that was struggling this week, chat? All right, so we're back to the middle range here. Apple pulling back, though. Tesla dipping down here. We've already taken some profit on Apple this morning. We got about 7 minutes into the market opens, chat. 7 minutes. You guys ready? Top 3 worst traders of all time, K. So you got it wrong. I'm not top 3 traders of all time. Top 3 worst traders ever in the world. Top 3 best beards. Top 3 most handsome. Top 3 smallest, bankroll. Top 3 most humble traders of all time ever in the world. Tesla at 190s. We'll see if it pulls back or more, if it bounces. Nvidia still consolidating around 875. I use the 200 EMA and the volume weighted average price mostly. Also, guys, y'all check out Chart Prime. It's one of my other sponsors. Again, I can't fake this, but look at how impressive this is. Again, check it out. So look at this strong signal here. Beautiful bounce. This is like what? This is a 5-minute chart. So this is hours and hours of bullish action. Sell signal there. You got a little bit of a follow through. Look at this strong signal here. Literally picking up the very bottom for hours. Sell signal here. You got a nice little follow through. Strong signal showed up this morning. Beautiful bounce. And so none of these failed that I can see. All of these worked. Even this strong signal, you got a little bit of a breakdown if you want to include that one in there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 6 working here. And again, this is they give you great indicators. I can't guarantee you're gonna make money with this. I can't guarantee they're gonna work. You kind of have to test it and back test it. I try to back test it at least once a day. But again, they can just be powerful. Look at these picking up the bottom calls here. Even if we go back in time, look at this. Bottom buy here, beautiful. Sell signal, beautiful. Buy signal, beautiful. If you zoom out, it'll show you flags and wedges and stuff like this. Look, let's zoom in here. You can see the wedges that it shows you. Just genuinely powerful here, chat. And again, it's $40 a month. You can use it on any time frame, anything with the symbol on TradingView. You can use it on screeners, oscillators, back testers, all this cool stuff. One good trade can pay for yourself. Although again, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased. They pay me money. Can't guarantee it's going to work for you. Nobody can. But again, if you want to check it out, here's the link. Great way to help support your boy here in the channel. You get 40% off if you use my link. All right, chat, here we go. 5 minutes. You guys ready for the market open, chat? 4 minutes. I don't think we have anything else today either. Nothing big in earnings afterwards. All right, so 43% of small businesses were unable to pay their rent in full in April due to economic headwinds. It's the biggest rent delinquency rate since March of 21, according to Bloomberg. All right, Chad, here's the market open. We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'm just kind of sitting tight waiting. I mean, Martinez, if you're his parent, I mean, I'm definitely not recommending anything. I wouldn't sign up for, yeah, I think that's a horrible idea, Martinez. But you're his parent. That's on you, bro. Not liable no matter what happens there. Up to you completely. Again, remember, I'm top 3 worst traders ever in the world. I'm terrible. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance results have limitations. Also understand that day trading's risky, bro. Like, I have 2 kids. There's no way I would ever try to teach my kids to day trade. I think that's enabling bad habits and could even while it's possible to make money day trading, most day traders lose money, and so trying to teach my 17-year-old to gamble, it just seems like a terrible idea, bro. No offense, just seems like a bad idea, dude. But on you, you know. All right, so Nvidia bounced up to 877s and now it's rejecting back down. All right, guys, here we go. 1 minute left. Chat, 1 minute left. We'll see what we get today. I don't think we have any other stuff. Let me check. Yeah, nothing today. Pretty small and boring. That's all right. All right, chat, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. We are bouncing up a little bit on the NASDAQ here. Still in that sideways range, though. But look at Apple rip up. Apple at 174s. All right, all the way back up, chat. Here's the opening bell. Ding. There's the bell. NASDAQ just broke at the top of that range and then retraced all the way back down at the opening bell. Tesla at 187s, hit 192.50s at the open. Let's see if we bounce at the 200 EMA volume weighted average price level. Part of me is tempted to buy this dip because I think Tesla will probably bounce here, and I might be wrong. Nvidia's bouncing back up, but again, for whatever reason, I'm thinking buy, but I might be wrong. Don't copy me, not an investment professional. You know what? I'm going to click buy here. Just click. There's 2 contracts. Boom. All right. All right. We got a nice little cushion here. And now we're all the way back down. We'll give it a second, though. All right, we're flat. We only got one little baby contract, so we're playing with this, but all right, I'm gonna buy into this. We got 2 contracts. Now we're playing with a little bit larger size. Let's see if we get a rip. Boom. All right, we took half off. All right, we locked out. All right, so good. Just made a nice little gain there. Let's see Tesla, though. Tesla now under the 200 EMA, under the volume weighted average price. Binary options are scams for the most part. All right, see, now we're testing the top of that range. Look at Apple rip. SoFi's still down, though. Let's watch Nvidia, though. Nvidia down to 870s. Hey, we only need 80 subs to break 135,000 subscribers, chat. You know you want to. Just try one time. It might feel good. Do it now. Guys, hit that subscribe button, chat. We were thinking buy, and it looks like we were right. Big rip back up. All right, all the way back up here, chat. Look at Apple, over 174s. Do we hold these gains, chat? Do we hold these gains? Let me know. Look at Apple, rip, SoFi. Still dipping down. Apple up to 175 almost. Let's see if Tesla can get back over this. Again, Nvidia's looking weak, but I mean, Nvidia's up so much, it's not a surprise, to be honest. All right, so we're going to buy this little dip here. A little risky, but hey, we'll play with it. We're trying to build up a nice cushion on the day. There we go. Took half off. Gonna go ahead and lock that in at the top. Nicely green on the day, chat. We'll see if we can keep grinding up. Everything's starting to move. Yeah, big earnings start tomorrow, and then Wednesday we got the Fomc meeting, so it's a very busy week. Tesla now over the 200 EMA volume weighted average price level. Nvidia is the one that's lagging behind, but it's still bouncing a little bit short term here. Part of me wants to buy this, but it's still a little unknown. A little bit late on my buy. It's all right. We got one contract, so it's not anything super, super crazy. All right, we're gonna scale in. We're gonna take our risk here, chat. We got. All right, so we are grinding up. We got 2 contracts left, so we had about 6, but we took profit on the bounce. I'm gonna give it time for a bounce. I like this bounce level here. We'll add. There we go. Swingy. All right, there we go. All right, we're scalping on the top of the bounce here. 1 contract left. We'll probably add on a dip if it dips more. Here we go, 2 contracts. Right, we got 5 contracts. All right, we just took most of that off. Took a little bit more off. 1 contract left. Cut it. All right, beautiful here. Nice green day. Attacking this pullbacks and these bounces. Tesla pulling a U-shaped breakout pattern. Apple almost to the 175. Miguel, you gotta look it up futures wise. So this is the micro NASDAQ is what we're trading here. Again, guys, we're day trading on Apex's funded account program. This is a platform called Quant Tower. It's a rhythmic account, so if you want to buy one, again, it's a funded account program. This is a 100K funded account on Apex. You can see it's very similar to day trading stocks, but there's no PDT rule. Again, promo code BT will get you the max discount. I like this down wick, so we're going to buy, but it's also kind of risky, so we're going to keep it small. So we got 2 contracts here. Again, it's kind of risky, to be honest, but we'll try it. Yeah, see, there's the turn. I can see it being risky here. All right, we're going to limit our risk here and cut half of this position small. And it looks like we were right to do it. So we avoided much bigger losses here. Yeah. So it would have been a much bigger loss. So that was our biggest loss. Or we lost about 20 bucks. But again, I could kind of see it being risky because I could kind of see it turning. Now, it's interesting because Apple's ripping up. This must be Nvidia falling. Yeah, Nvidia just cracked lows, coming back down. We're at the bottom of the range now, though. I think I'm going to start buying this up. We got a cushion on the day here. But again, it's still a risky play, so we're going to keep it pretty small. All right, so we got 4 contracts here. We're going to get up to 6. Getting punished here. Just a big turn on us. Now we're shorting. We don't want to short. There we go. We're out. All right, so now we're slightly red on the day, unfortunately. We took our second swing and had the biggest candle we've had all day. And so, yeah, just kind of got unlucky there, and it's all good. Again, we're keeping it pretty flat. It's a very choppy day, so I can't really expect too much of crazy gains or anything like that with how choppy and risky it is today. Just be careful. Big swings in markets. Yeah, Tesla's almost back up to 190. Apple's looking pretty strong, too. Just kind of part of it. Big swings today. A lot of stuff's up a lot as well. So extension-wise, I think we're on the upside for a bunch of stuff. How are you guys doing? Red or green in chat right now, chat? Red or green? Red? Really? Yeah. Red always, green, green. Tesla's still looking really strong, though. Look at Tesla here. So Tesla's still going. Cracking under that low range here. See if we follow through or what. Where's my coffee? There it is. Huge red action coming through in the markets, chat. Big pullbacks here. I'm trying to see what's dropping it. I guess it's Nvidia, but... very red action. Microsoft? I don't think I'm in Microsoft anymore. Yeah, I'm out of Microsoft, but Microsoft is dropping a lot. So a bunch of stuff has dropped big. Let's see if we retrace back up some now. I see a lot of stuff trying here. Google's still pulling back a little bit here too. SoFi's starting to find some legs though at the bottom at 709s. Yeah, Google's up a lot, so I mean it's not a crazy thing to think that it's going to give back some of its gains. Tesla pulling back to that previous closing price too. NASDAQ dumping down here, chat. Yeah, it's just a little bit too bearish for me right now. I'm looking for a bounce. Yeah, definitely red open. We'll see if we get a bounce in Tesla and Nvidia. Like Tesla and Nvidia are the two that are really weighing the markets down. I think Google's definitely not helping it either. So we got Tesla, Google.
tech in general. Microsoft down a bunch as well. A little bit too red for me here, though, chat. I got to kind of wait. I got to kind of wait it out. See if we get a bounce is what I'm looking for. We'll see if Tesla can hold. I'm going to switch to the regular, maybe gold or the regular E-mini. Here, chat, is what I'm looking at. I think so. Gold is GC. All right, so here's gold. Looking red as well, but not as red, I think. Yeah, a lot of bloody action here. But again, it's not a surprise. Apple actually doing well. So I'm still actually green in equities on the day. Green in Tesla too. Tesla's up so much, it's going to be hard not to be green in it though. I don't know whether... So here's the S&P 500. It's down basically the same. Now, I usually short these moves, but I'm going to switch to the micros. Kind of a risky short here, though. We'll take 4 contracts. We just want to retest. So we don't want to... we don't need it to break lows. We just want to retest the lows. Here's 6. We'll take 6 contracts here. Use 2 contracts increments. So we're basically flat on this position going back and forth. Yeah, kind of probably dumb for me to short this because of so much momentum on the downside here. So we are starting to see a retracement back down. What happened to SoFi? SoFi's down to 709s. I think what we're seeing right now, guys, is like tech is up so much that we're starting to see retracements. Tesla's still holding though. Too many big swings and pressure. You can see that range break though. So that range break would have worked really nice if we would have targeted it. Where's Bitcoin? How's Bitcoin responding in all this? Bitcoin's looking weak too. It's down to 62,000. Yeah, Tesla's still doing strong. Tesla's still very green on the day. Apple is as well. Apple's one of the strongest stocks today. Look at Apple at 175, almost 176. Bought the dip last week on vertical industry play. Typically don't hold over weekends, but I'm 2,000 cap and the positions are too good to give up. Hey, good luck, bro. Yeah, there's no FOMC meeting today, John. There's no FOMC meeting. If you're looking at the title of my stream, it says FOMC meeting week. Like it's the week of the FOMC meeting, brother. It doesn't say it's today. It says it's the FOMC week, which is usually a more volatile week, but it might be choppy leading up to it. I'm surprised we have this big of range going back and forth. It's one of the reasons I'm not really targeting any specific direction here, is because is because it's the FOMC week, right? So it might just be Chop City, you know? I guess I'm bearish here on this downside, but I don't want to lose too much today on a FOMC week choppy potential. The meeting's not tomorrow either, Chris. Meeting is Wednesday. It's always on Wednesday. The FOMC meeting's always on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Yeah, I'm not saying it is choppy. I'm saying typically ahead of the FOMC meeting we get chop. Is what I'm saying. So it depends on the week, I guess is the point. And this week might be choppy because of a lot of the time ahead of these Fed meetings. It's also a big earnings week. So not only do we have the FOMC meeting, but we have earnings. We have non-farm payrolls and unemployment. It's just a really, really economic data week. A really, really heavy economic data week is what I meant. And so it's a week in which we could have crazy volatility. You just got to be really careful, to be honest. All right, so we're kind of we bounced back up after the big breakdown. Look at Tesla though. Tesla coming under 187s. Nvidia is the one you want to watch, I think, in my opinion. Though Nvidia has been very bearish this morning. When things dump, all you can do is DCA. It depends on how much the dump is, right? Like a pullback after breaking highs is necessary. Things are not going to go straight down, and so it just depends. Big red action coming through. See if we can flush some more. There we go. Wow. So we're right at the bottom of the range again. So I don't know if we got to keep dropping more. It's close. Maybe we stabilize. Yeah, we're watching it. Usually I short into these little bounces, but I think I'm just going to chill and wait, to be honest. All right. We did get, I'm playing with a funded account program in the background. So look, we did get funded just now in another 50K combine on Apex. You can see the graph of the funding here. We actually had no losses this whole time. So we were sitting here playing. This is why we got silent. We were sitting there playing this 50K in the background. Again, we had no losses. It hasn't reflected the top, but you can see we're over 53,000. The profit target's 3K. And so again, this is a $50,000 challenge. They give you a 50K demo. I got to make 3K in profit without losing. I think it's 2,500 first. And so if I can hit 3K in profit without losing 2,500 first, they fund me 50K with a 90% split. Great way to limit your risk and learn how to day trade, or if you want to get started with a lesser amount. It's a lot cheaper to get started this way. And yeah, we just got funded in a 3,000 or a 50K funded account. We had no losses this whole time. No losses. You can see we had 0 losses this whole time. You can see my balance in the account net is $53,004. And so we'll activate that one this evening. You love to see it. Tradeovate is a web-based platform, David. So what you see me using right here is Quant Tower. Like, this is a software right here. So this is a, but you can use, right? Like, this is a software right here. So if you want to download a software like Quant Tower or Ninja Trader, you can use Rhythmic. If you want to go to a website, Tradeovate's the one you want to use. I don't know why SoFi is down so much. I don't know. So again, SoFi, it is what it is. Like, mid caps are very difficult to gauge realistically. You know, they really are. They're really hard to gauge realistically. Hey, thanks, Jim. Congrats, brother. Congrats, man. I don't know if I'm buying this dip. Yeah, this isn't a big enough dip, and especially with earnings tomorrow, with the Fed meeting Wednesday, with payrolls Friday, with more earnings Thursday, with more earnings Wednesday. I just don't think I'm going to buy anything right now. It's too volatile. We're still green in equities on the day. And so I'm not buying the dip in anything, I don't think, here. It's just not worth it. It's too much risk, to be honest. Like, there's just so much risk here that it's just not worth it for me personally. And again, if you want to check out Apex, here's the link. I'm probably going to go ahead and get out of here. Too much ahead of these big days. We get choppy, volatile price action, and I don't feel like getting stopped out. If you want to join me on Apex, you can use my coupon code BT. It'll get you the max discount. We just got funded on a 50K challenge. And again, remember, chat, I am terrible. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might trade off stream. Do not copy me. I have no idea what I'm doing. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance, all that stuff. Not an investment professional. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. I'm going to get out of here. Again, I just don't think there's going to be much edge. And so I'm going to get out of here. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. Again, we're green today somehow in equities. I don't know how. But I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back tomorrow bright and early, chat. Love you all. Y'all be good.